Hello everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to the shed. So we're moving on to our next step. So we have the engine already taken out of the GT, the forged engine. We have everything washed. So we can just start running up the hill here with this one. So you can see me, I'm stealing a couple of bits off of the GT engine. So I'm taking off the gearbox and then I'm taking the clutch and flywheel off it as well. As you can see, it was actually an upgraded ACT unit and the flywheel as well. So the idea of this is just to kind of harvest all the parts that we want off of this engine to swap over to the other one. And once I have those taken off, then we turn our attention to the other starlet. So got the boys in to give me a hand. Noah's here jacking up the car, getting it ready to rock. And then we start taking off. Now, very easy to take this one out. Only a couple of bolts really on the mount and the slave cylinder and a small bit of plumbing, fuel lines and that to take out. So the idea is, my plan was to take out this engine, swap over a couple of bits, mainly the gearbox, the clutch and flywheel obviously, and the manifold, so the exhaust manifold to allow it to run the TD04 turbo. This engine that's coming out of this car was literally built 4 years ago and has never ran, so I was very eager to try and get everything up and running and I suppose just test it out. So yeah, I'm going to drop the voice note here for now, let you enjoy us taking all these few bits out, and I'll jump back in then and we can kind of go through everything else. So everything has been swapped over. Amazingly, I managed to do all this by myself. I remember the first time I put the gearbox onto this engine, there was 3 of us swinging out of it trying to get it in, and I didn't even get it on camera because I wasn't planning on doing this by myself, and I ended up lifting the gearbox on and it just slid straight in. So we're going on a super steep curve here. So this night I made Scott called up. The plan was, let's just throw the engine into the car, have it sitting there, and then I'll fool away kind of over the next couple of weeks to get it going. That didn't happen, so ended up getting it in and kind of plugging everything in, and got to a point where we were fairly sure that it was fairly much ready to turn over. So there in the next couple of clips, kind of the live reaction of everything that's going on.
put fuel lines in right.
I can't do the fuel pump. So you just seen us there with the fuel feed line taken off the car while turning it over, and we were getting no fuel up to the fuel rail. So obviously that was going to be an issue with trying to start it. So we decided to take the whole fuel hanger out of the other starlet and swap it over and put it in, which we did off camera. We had fuel in the car as well at this stage. So this is another attempt at starting it after the hanger and the pump and everything had been swapped over and set up again. So almost instantly on this start we saw fuel coming from the banjo fitting on top of the fuel filter. So we decided to take that off and we changed the two copper kind of O-rings that are on that. And the next attempt then is obviously, hopefully with the whole fuel system put back together, pumped back in, everything tightened, and we'll see what happens. So we got the first start under the belt. You might have heard kind of a squeaking noise coming. That turned out to be a problem. I thought that it was probably a belt or something just kind of bedding in or whatever, but I didn't know that at the time. So you can see me just putting in the other bit of systems here, putting in the radiator, putting in some gearbox oil, and I suppose inevitably then you had a couple of leaks. So the thermostat housing was leaking, so you can see me here sealing all that up. And obviously putting it back into place. There was an oil leak from where the oil filter housing is. I got that sorted then as well. So kind of got all the leaks sorted. There was still one more small little leak coming from the timing cover. So I knew that there was a bit of an issue there, which is after turning out to be a fairly big issue. But we'll go over that at the end of the video. new water leak back here, and the problem is I didn't put the clamp on that hose there, so it's holding on by the grace of God. Still don't have a clutch, but I did have my 7-year-old in the car pressing the pedal while I was trying to bleed it, so probably just needs to be bled a couple more times. Do have a bit of a pedal, but not enough to get us going, but we're getting close. So we did it, we got the started up and running, buzzing, absolutely buzzing. I know there's probably little bits of the video of getting the engine up and running that weren't recorded, but that night in the shed, it wasn't on the cards at all to actually get the car running. The plan was just to throw the engine in and leave it at that, but just kind of stayed plugging away and got everything going. Why I'm jumping on here is because we have had a problem, a fairly big problem, but we were lucky that it got caught. But this is how the car is right now. So we've kind of taken apart again. Had a nice bit of a failure on the timing side of things. Not crazy. So after the car was running in the water and everything, the water leaks were all sorted. I was getting an oil leak coming down through the bottom valve cover, timing cover. So I decided to take all this off and have a look and see. But before I did that, I went for one more drive, and when I came back, this was the end result. So as you can see, that hole there shouldn't be there. So we had a little bit of movement, and the problem was this guy. So this bear in here that but kind of guides the timing belt. But I'm going to go through all of that in the very next video. Gonna get this thing back together. I have a new timing belt ordered, and my oil leak was actually coming from this cam seal here. I have a picture of it. There's a little tiny pinch on it at this side. So hopefully once that seal is changed and the new timing belt and stuff goes on, we should be good to go. That seems to be the last of my leak. And just to show you how close of a call it was, this is my brand new timing belt. So had we not have spotted that, we could have been in serious bother. But we're going to go through everything that happened. I know what happened, completely my fault. So as I've said 100 times on this channel, I'm not a mechanic. I don't really know what I'm doing, and it just goes to show I did one thing wrong on the timing side of things, but it was enough to potentially completely ruin the engine. But thankfully we didn't get that far. We caught it just in time. So yeah, still absolutely buzzed. Can't wait to show you guys next video, and then we'll go out and we'll go on an actual drive together once this thing is fully up and running. So yeah, I'm going to leave the video there. Thank you guys for following along, and I will see you in the next one.